World Rhino Day is a day about rhinos, of course, but it's been set up for the world and for the world's media to take notice of rhinos today, to honor them, to appreciate their iconic status and beauty as the world's second largest land animal. And of course, many organizations are taking this opportunity to remind people of the poaching that is happening to our rhinos. And of course, because of this poaching crisis, let's not forget that for many South Africans, every day is Rhino Day. Mm-hmm. I don't need to remind all of us that we have rangers, pilots, men and women, police, anti-poaching units, informants even, who protect our rhinos. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we have vets, nurses, orphan rehabilitators who care for our wounded rhinos. Mm-hmm. And sadly, when we lost a rhino, well, then it's our investigators and state prosecutors who work really hard to successfully incarcerate poachers. But I always say the most important thing is that every single South African make it known that our rhinos are indeed important and must be saved from this horrific slaughter. So a day like today, the world may celebrate World Rhino Day, but as almost all of the world's rhinos live here in our country, this is our day to claim as South Africans, to believe that our heritage is worth saving, and not just for us, but for the world.
Yes, you're quite right there. And South Africa is said to have very good strategies in poaching. We're really making a remarkable change within South Africa and maybe even Southern Africa. But are we still perhaps losing this fight?
According to the latest progress report on rhino poaching, we have lost 702 rhinos since the start of 2016. 702 rhinos, and we still have 4 months to go. The Kruger Park has seen a decrease, the hardest hit area, which is fantastic news. But then we've also seen an increase in other provinces, KwaZulu-Natal, Eastern Cape. So we have lost over 1,000 rhinos, more than 1,000 rhinos each year for the last 3 years. Now, if you think about it, 5,600 rhinos have been killed for their horns, which have been shipped out or flown out to Asia. That's crazy. And that is since 2010. We all remember 2010, the Soccer World Cup. It's not that long ago. So this dent in rhino poaching is absolutely encouraging news. It's a positive step in the right direction, but it's still unacceptably high. We are losing 88 rhinos a month.
So we have a wildlife convention coming up next week, CITES COP17. What can we expect from this convention, especially in terms of this crisis?
Certainly a big focus is the COP17 starting this Sunday, where thousands of delegates from all over the world will gather at the Sandton Convention Centre, where they will debate and discuss and hopefully find solutions to the illicit trade in wildlife. Now, just to give the viewers a little bit of background, CITES stands for the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. It's a mouthful. But it is basically an international agreement between governments with the aim to ensure that international trade in specimens of wild animals and plants does not threaten their survival. We all know international wildlife trade is estimated to be worth billions of dollars. So the need for CITES is clear. Now, COP17 is said to be the biggest of its kind and to have many hot under the collar. So I think it's going to be an interesting one.
So earlier on this year, there was a number of court cases regarding legal trade of rhino horn.
Right.
And of course, our environmental department is very much against this. Is this a debate that we'll see being brought up again at the CITES convention? Renee,
I think what is very interesting, and I think what many of us thought, is that there would be a lot of intergovernmental discussion and debate regarding rhinos, especially revolving around the trade issue. Many in the rhino industry, or rhino business as I call it, are either for or against legally trading in rhino horn. And it was rumoured that South Africa will be putting forward a proposal at CITES to legally trade in rhino horn. This after the Minister of Environmental Affairs, Edna Molewa, appointed a 22-member committee of inquiry who sat for well over a year to discuss the trade issue. After they've put forward or submitted their proposal to government, government decided no, they are not going to put forward a proposal at CITES. And this had Swaziland, up in arms, and they have now submitted a proposal to CITES to legally trade in rhino horn. So it's going to be interesting. That's the only proposal that's on the cards. But then also we have the debate around hunting, the regulating of trophy animals, and rhinos fall under this.
Which is also quite a big problem that we're seeing
Exactly,
in South Africa.
exactly. But there is no significant proposals on the cards for rhinos at COP17.
Now, we seem to have a lot of days for a lot of different causes at the moment. And do you think that this day actually accomplishes anything?
I know, it seems quite trivial that there's one day where we all focus on something specific, where we put all our focus onto one thing. As I've said earlier, for me, Rhino Day is every day, and of course for every person working on the ground fighting this war. I've spent a lot of time with these guys for my film Stroop, and what's always evident in my conversations with them is that their lives have completely changed. It evolves around rhino poaching day in and day out. So even if there is one day where media creates awareness, where we talk about the challenges we face, then that's great. I'm talking on various TV shows, radio shows today, and that's fantastic. I can use this platform to tell South Africans that rhinos are our heritage and their time is running out. That we as a nation should become more involved and take ownership. Because I always say a rhino poached is a rhino stolen from each of us.